Brendan, what's up, Sam?
Evan, so good to see you, Evan.
Thanks for all these lovely treats.
Evan?
Yeah, you want this one?
Yeah.
Thank you, Evan. You're welcome, Sam.
Hi, Dave. Nothing happened. Nothing. I thought you were gonna like add hair to it. We were just commenting. We were commenting. I was sitting next to him. He has all this nice hair, and I'm just like a short bald guy next to him.
That's right. It's way easier to take care of what you got.
It is. I do nothing. Of course, I don't know if he does much either. You seem like a Matt Grady. You just wake up. All right, everybody. Good morning, and welcome. I'm Brendan, and we have Sam filling in for Kathy next to me here. So thank you, Sam, for that.
He's no Kathy.
He is no Kathy. That's true.
I would never pretend to be Kathy.
Starbucks was really kind, and I told them we were meeting outside, and they gave us a 2-for-1 with lots of coffee. So please come drink some coffee and have some cookies. We really did plan on meeting outside, but then we went out there and we tested it out, and there was no sun, and we decided everyone's gonna leave if we try to do it out there. So we'll meet in here, but let's start if we can with attendance here, and if you could just say your name and who you're with, or citizen, or whatever else, and then just be slow for me so I can make sure that I record the attendance here. Sam, why don't you start?
I'm Sam. I'm nobody.
No, Sam Van Wetter, I have you on here.
Nice.
Great.
Tim Rowe at large member.
Tim, I've got you. Thank you.
Marty Bauer, equestrian.
Marty, thank you.
Kirsten, Ski Road.
Kirsten. Oh yeah, if anyone has their car up front, please move it to the back so I don't get beat up. Please. Whoever, I will too. Man, those old gals just about beat me up with their canes.
Never drive.
Dave Wilson, a large member.
What's up, Marty?
Dave, I've got you. Thank you. Hi, Jonathan. So happy you can make it here. I gotcha. Thank you.
Brian Murdoch, Board Service.
Hi, Brian. Glad to have you. Can we go right behind you?
Oh, Zane Taylor, the motorized document.
Zane, so happy to have you here.
Can we demand that Zane move up to the table?
Yeah, Zane. You can go right next to the coffee and cookies, Zane. There's space. That's the place to be anyway. Okay.
Mark Cal, at large member.
Wait, they didn't hear you, Mark. You got to represent better than that.
Mark Cal, at large member.
There you go.
Brad Walker, Colin Tupper, at large, Moab City Council. And can I introduce this next guy?
Please.
Yes, please. So everybody, you may remember this guy. This is Neil Herbert. Neil lived in town many, many years, and I'll let him continue this. But I invited Neil because Neil is running for the at-large seat for Grand County Commission.
Oh, sweet.
Neil, could you spell your last name for me?
The seat is declared.
Herbert?
H-E-R-B-E-R-T.
Okay, just like it sounds.
Thanks for running, Neil.
N-E-A-L.
N-E-A-L.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Can you grab that? You like that? Okay.
Okay, I didn't mean to steal your thunder. I was just so excited that you're
I know. We tried. You want to come here? Okay, we got voted out. Sorry.
All things that are related to Grand County and Moab, and so yeah, excited. I've never been to a trail meeting, so it's amazing what's been done, and I'm excited to sit here and learn.
Well, welcome and good luck with your campaign here for at large member. You bet. We're excited to have you.
Oh, Tim Shaw, at large member.
Tim, you've been to enough of these. You know how this works, right?
I do, yes.
Tim, I'm really glad you're here. Thank you.
Activity roped activities rep.
Formerly, what did we call it? Climbing? Yeah. Roped activity is way cooler. So way to go.
Anna Sprout, Stuart Moab.
Anna Sprout, Stuart, but we even have it in a Stuart Moab. Okay, awesome.
Excuse me, Patrick.
Patrick, thank you for being here.
Evan Smiley, Grand County Trails.
Evan, I got you. Thank you.
Maddie Lodgewitz, also with Either Grand County Trails, Grand County Active Transportation Trails, or GCAT, all of it.
Jack Adler, Grand County Commission.
Shock, thank you for being here. I have you. Katie? We were, Katie, we got outvoted because the sun wasn't shining, so it was pretty chilly out there. I even brought coffee for you, Katie, to warm you up with all your layers, so sorry. And then did we miss anyone else?
She just went to the park, so.
Who?
Emily.
The other girl.
Well, Emily, who I have here, Active Transportation, Emily, right? Okay,
Lily BLM.
Lily, and that's not your last name, Lily, but that's your,
Gallons.
okay.
Number 40.
Where are you? Lily, there you are. Lily. Awesome. Emily?
Active Transportation.
Okay.
I don't know how to drive a car.
And then, and great neighbor. Okay, well, I'm happy that you are all here. I forgot, but we officially called to order it. We were at 11:02. Again, for next time, if you can remember to park out back so we don't get beat up. I sent out the minutes a few times. If I can have someone make a motion to approve last meeting's minutes.
I'm gonna move the car.
Okay. Yeah, but that'd be good. And you can come out this way too if you want, Katie. Okay, okay.
What was the date of that meeting?
It was, hang on. It was Tuesday, December 9th. Let me just make sure.
Make
Yeah.
a motion to approve the minutes from Tuesday, December 9th.
Okay, can I have a second?
Second. Oh, sorry.
Patrick, you were first, so we'll go with Patrick. Everyone good with the meetings last time? Okay. Anyone know, or we need to change something? Okay, thank you. So last meeting minutes passed. Citizens to be heard. I know we have at least one with Anna, but is there any other citizens that need to be heard or want to be heard? We want to hear from you. Okay. Anna.
I've requested to be on the agenda in the future, but I'm Stewart Moab now, officially incorporated, officially a 501c3 as of yesterday.
Nice
So,
job.
quick turnaround. Really excited. We are working on a couple projects right now. One of them being the Moab Guide Summit. So if you're a commercial operator on public lands, you're invited to this. It's a 2-day event, and it's about education for local guides. And then we brought a keynote in about adaptive equipment, adaptive experiences for the owners and guides of different businesses around here. We're also working on grant funding for 2027. So quick pivot, in which some of that includes letters of support. We haven't decided exactly who, but there are committees being considered. So I just wanted to put that on your radar. And we are, CNHA provided 35,000 in seed funding, bridge funding for 2026, which is really exciting news and it helps. And then now that we are a 501c3, we can accept donations. So I'm just putting out the call for any connections you can help me make as we move forward, because one of our goals is to build sustainability as we move forward.
It's awesome. Well, we're really excited. We're excited for the event. We're excited to have you, and congrats on being official now.
You have a website now?
I do, stewardmoab.com.
That's really exciting. Okay. Any other citizens? Okay, great. Well, we have our one big item. Oh, are you still there? Yes, I am. Don't leave the call. I think Kaya is going to be joining us here in a little bit later, but we're calling it elections and voting, but we didn't have anyone else say that they wanted to leave the voting positions or anyone else that said they would like to do something different. So that makes it pretty easy for us. So what we're going to do is we'll go through each voting position. Do we have to be like nominate? How does this work, Colin? Do you remember?
I mean, I think going through each individual one, do we need to, or can we just make a motion to reelect all of them in one?
Maybe.
You can make a motion to, can you state all of my acclamation?
Okay.
Okay, do you want me just to read through them and then we can make a motion to, is
Yeah.
everyone okay with
You
that?
referenced that.
Okay, so, motions would be made for all the folks that have their current voting seats to stay in those current voting seats. So Brendan Cameron as chair, Samantha Derbyshire as vice chair, Kathy Grossman as secretary, biking, David Glover, roped activities, Faith Dickey, equestrians, we're gonna say Marty. I think Steven still said when I talked to him, he still wanted to be involved with emails, et cetera, but he wanted you to represent him at the meeting.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll talk to him and
Okay,
see how he.
we'd love to have him back, but we
Yeah.
know that you're
And I
here for
think
him.
it's great if he still wants to attend, or yeah.
Okay, we'd love to have him for sure. Hiking, Kaya Marienfield, trail running, Matt Olding, skiing, Kirsten Peterson, active transportation, Emily Lessner, and then at-large members, Dave Wilson, Tim Rao, Mark Howe, Colin Topper, and Tim Shaw. Any changes to those names or anything that I messed up here with the voting members? Okay, no one's upset by me reading all those off. So hopefully we I guess we could take a motion to approve all of the current voting members to be voting members moving forward for 2026. So I'd open for a motion for that.
I'll make the motion that the list that you just read be put forth for a vote to stay on for 2026.
Awesome. So Kate made a motion. Second? Awesome. Jacques seconds. Any discussion or anyone change their mind on anything? This is great. Okay, everyone that is good with all these, raise your hand. And anyone not, or anyone abstaining?
You even voted.
Whoa, okay. Okay, congratulations, all of you, and thank you. So we'll say that those elections are complete. And the biggest thing I want to say before we go into our discussion items is just thank you. I don't think many of you are being paid for this. If so, I haven't seen a check from anyone. I think Colin gets a little bit from somewhere, but other than that, just huge thank you. We are making trails better, and in a time where everything seems divisive or there has to be some kind of a side, I really feel good about just wanting to have better trails and wanting to have better recreational experiences for the people that live here. So thank you. You're all put forward your time in helping this little community out. So thank you. Excited to work with you all in 2026. It's going to be great.
Thank you, Brendan, for staying on as chair.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had fun. So it's been great. And you notice that mine's commercial. I don't bring the great snacks like Samantha. Mine's commercial because I don't know how to cook or bake anything, but I'll bring goodies too if it's just me. But I'm happy to work with y'all. It's been really great. Okay. Well, that went a lot faster than I thought it would, which is good because we have a lot of discussion items. And the first one, and we don't have to come up with solutions on this one, but I do want to put it out there because we want to have a completed one sheet, and we'll work with Maddie and the GCAP team on this as well. We have, starting March 1st, our trails are opening to e-bikes. The BLM trails are open to e-bikes. And we know that the BLM has done some work, and probably, and we'll ask Katie a little bit as well, done some work to try to communicate the public on what that means, what that entails, what a class 1 e-bike is, the trails that they're available in. And we want to make sure we just get ahead and really help them in communicating that. And so the idea was brought up to have a one sheet that we can share with the shuttle companies, that we can share with the bike shops, that we can share with whomever else about what that means starting March 1st. And so I just want to chat about ideas to make that happen. Katie, maybe we can hear from you on what the BLM is doing to communicate and educate and how we can help, and then how we could put together some kind of a one sheet to educate everyone on what that means.
Well, we want to work with the shuttle companies, because I think they're in the. So I believe something was sent out to the shuttle companies already. And, it isn't every single trail, you know, it doesn't include. For instance. So it's most.
BLM trails, right?
But not completely all. So that's important for the shuttle company, to know it does not include part-time, because anyway. So, and we are having a sort of a trail day, office work day on March 2nd that, I know Maddie has already been reached out to about Jennifer. And we're of course putting on our website. We welcome links from many other people's website. I think the main thing for people to understand is what is class 1 e-bike, because it does not include just class 1.
What does that work? What does that look like? Does that mean people are going to go out on the trails to greet people on March 2nd? What it was?
No, I think it's signing.
Oh, it's just signage.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, we may see some on the trail, right?
sure.
But it's at that point it's signing.
Do you need help with any of that signage?
Didn't Jennifer talk to you now?
She sent me an email and we can't guarantee we'll have all of our staff back by then because we require them to come back mid-February, but that's sort of up to them if they want to come back earlier. So I think I will have just gotten back to the country. Evan may be available, but also has a lot on his plate. So I think volunteers would be great because I think we're going to be in a little bit of a tight spot on those days. And it's a weekend as well.
I think he set the date for March 7th, which I think is a Monday.
Oh, great.
We're gonna let March 1st take care of stuff. So anyway, we'll get you more information.
Yeah, send us the info. We'll send it out to everyone. I know there will be people that want to help volunteer for that.
And I think Jennifer said too, like a lot of it might be updating the stickers too, because we have so many no e-bike stickers everywhere, like at every intersection. I think on Mag 7, there's like what, over 50? There's all these little road crossings and everything. So it could be potentially someone riding through a trail system and
Re-sticker.
Can we find the guy who did it originally?
Can we find him or?
Yeah, there was a guy who, remember, was putting the legal e-bike sticker on top of the illegal sticker. Can we find him? Just have
brown
him
spray.
Wow, do the work for us.
We have the brown spray paint pens.
Oh, that was he doing? I thought he
there was like a series of tactics, escalating tactics.
Yeah.
I know, he could lead the training.
Katie, thank you. We'll communicate that with everyone. Maddie from the GCAT team, is there anything we can do to help you in kind of education and getting it out there to everyone?
Yes. Yes, I'm not sure what that would be. I think one thing traditionally that Tyson has done is he's been our liaison to the bike shops. And Evan's been down a little bit, but like I said, I mean, Evan has a lot of new things on his plate this coming year, so yes, it's someone from the Trail Mix committee, ideally someone who already has like relationship with the bike shops. To take point on that, I think that can be helpful. I think we can make a few social media posts, and we could use help maybe sharing those out.
Yeah. Maybe could we have David work with you all on, and maybe if anyone else is passionate about and kind of understands really well with the class 1 and how we could communicate that to, and help, shuttle companies will want to post, at least Samantha said she's going to put it in her van. Bike shops said they want to put it on their counters to help educate what that means and what class 1s are and where and what trails, etc. So if there's anyone else, I know that Brad.
Well, whatever that is, can I get a piece of it? We talked to
Totally.
everybody.
Oh, that'd be great.
Be the first out.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Then we can get at the Dead Horse, same thing, right? I know they've had it for a while, but good to have that one sheet.
Yeah, of
kind of-
course, and the state parks in general also only allow class 1. Isn't that
Correct.
right? Yeah, so good. Something sinks for once.
Hey, that'll be great. We'll definitely include you on that, Brad. I'll chat with David after this meeting's done, and maybe we can send something out to all of you and then have you give your comments on it or thoughts on it before we kind of finalize it. We were hoping to have by next meeting, which is February, what's the second Tuesday in February? Actually, I have it right here. February 10th. By the February 10th meeting, we were hoping to have a copy of it so that we can kind of sign off on it and everybody be good with it. But it's going to take a little work between now and February 10th to pull it off.
Are
So
we looking for specific verbiage or something?
yeah, it really is just trying to figure out the easiest way to communicate. And I think it's pretty complicated when you figure out all the classes and the wheres and the
What are
whatever.
they doing in Fruita?
Great question.
I mean, because.
Copy what they're doing.
2-3 years,
Uh-huh.
so just copy.
Yeah, I like that. It's a great
I
idea.
have a quick question. I'm just curious, what are, some priority areas for disseminating this information?
Like businesses and such. or
Just
even on the ground?
businesses on the ground.
The brands.
Yeah, great question. We just really want to get ahead of it as much as we can. So we'll have something for you all. And if you would do us a favor, and I don't know if you've noticed, I try to send as few of the full group emails as possible, because I just noticed the more emails, the more you just ignore it. So I only try to send it out when we have something really pertinent. And so, but if you would look at your email, review what we have, and add your comments before that February 10th meeting, that'd be amazing for the e-bike one sheet.
Do we know, I mean, the Pruitt suggestion's a good idea. Do we know how Dead Horse communicates to? the-
Any idea, Brad?
Up there? Nothing
That's
real.
a good question.
Yeah,
I don't know the
I
answer.
mean, if someone brought a class 2 e-bike, this is the person that moved it, know what it was.
Yeah.
Dead Horse, what are they told, how are they guided to only allow class 1 at Dead Horse?
Yeah.
As a non-e-bike rider, I can honestly say that if I have a class 3, the first thing I'm gonna do is take that sticker off.
But it has a throttle, doesn't it?
No, class 3 is
Oh.
just faster.
Yeah.
They're higher powered and not governed in any way.
Well, they're governed at 28 miles an hour.
Yeah, it isn't really easy to get in and change that.
It depends on the brand, I'm sure.
Well, thank you for your help in that. We'll have something before next meeting, and we'll work with Maddie and work with Katie and on that. Awesome. Okay, next.
Related to that.
Oh, yeah.
Just putting out that I know that the police department right now is working on something to a big informational campaign.
Oh, yeah.
To try to get that information out. So it's timely that this is happening too.
I'll holler at Monty.
In town and out of.
I mean, if we don't have to recreate something, that'd be great. You know,
What's that?
if we don't have to recreate something, that'd be great.
Yeah,
If
I mean, there's
someone's already
much broader because they have to.
incorporate other.
Addressing electric scooters and everything else, but yeah, so, but it is timely that all this information is gonna go out.
Yeah.
How about something about ethics? And I know that's kind of evolving, but
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be huge with keeping the temperature down out on the trails and.
Well, I know the OG IMBA rules of the trail. It's amazing how many new regular mountain, I mean, I'm talking people who've been riding for 10 years in regards to being a new mountain biker,
Uh-huh.
don't know those rules.
Okay.
And with e-biking, obviously there's different ethics, like who yields to who, and I've even had a small confrontation with e-bikers about not yielding to trail, knowing they're e-bikers and things like that. I think that's all kind of still in development and discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to be a part of any of these conversations,
Sure.
because while, one, if there are areas on the ground that are a priority for county advisory committees, we should know that. And then, in the development of the ethics, we do have communication practices and, staff accounts of these types of behaviors pre-opening. And then, when we are positioned to potentially operate in these spaces at a fuller capacity, we would like to have been involved in this process.
Cool.
Does IMBA have any stuff prepackaged?
Maybe.
That's
Send it that way.
Yeah.
I put my notes in there to look at it.
I think we all know the etiquette of bikers yielding to horses and hikers. I would assume that because e-bikes have a motor but is there an established etiquette?
Go ahead, Maddie.
Yeah. Short answer is I think it is a little bit regional. One thing we talked about was, for a signage update, is the signage that, class 1 e-bikes yield to traditional e-bikes and traditional bikes, and then down the pyramid, which I think is probably more the norm, or do we want to do something slightly different, with recommended directions, or, I think we're probably erring on the side of having e-bikes yield, just because they do have the potential to go the faster speed on uphill sections and things like that.
I think a big one for me is, yeah, an e-biker overtaking a traditional biker on an uphill from behind and then, you know, either demanding the right way or where who's, is the onus on the mountain biker to pull over and let the e-biker pass, or what the circumstances there. And then also, yeah, a traditional analog mountain biker coming downhill, with the e-biker coming uphill, traditionally the uphill rider gets the right way, but is that the case when there's a few things like that that are definitely
Yeah,
questionable?
that's really good kind of ethics and rules of the trail. We're gonna try to
I guess
include
etiquette is probably a better.
etiquette.
We would yield to any climber, the climbers and engaging and passing on a climb. You're gonna
talked about it, is whichever direction you are coming, it's important to communicate before you reach an impasse. And then I know it's hard, but it has kind of diffused this idea of who has right of way at times, especially when it comes to like a Mossaback area where there's a downhill oriented trail, who has right of way, and it's at times who has the most risk at stopping, right? And who can prepare to stop before somebody else. And so it comes down to the observation of 30 feet in front of you.
There's a lot to it. I mean, there's what we're talking about. It's a lot, Dave.
So it got changed a few years ago through IMBA.
Okay.
IMBA used to say, yield to uphill riders.
Yeah.
Now it says yield appropriately. Oh,
Yeah, but
there's
kind of
nothing, there's nothing in their current rule, those classic rules that they have, like ride open trails, leave no trace, now yield appropriately, control your bicycle, never scare animals, and plan ahead. Those are like basic trail rules that they have. Then they've got some other things and some other verbiage elsewhere, but there's nothing in them about e-bikes. They do have like this huge flow chart kind of chart thing that breaks down all the types of e-bikes and where they're allowed and all that stuff. And we know people don't read, and we know there's people that can't read, and that's a lot of reading. So that's what I'm finding from IMBA right now.
Yeah.
And I know that, what was it, a decade ago, they started discussing a lot of stuff with e-bikes. I mean, a full decade ago, they were talking about this stuff. So if anything, it's like people have been saying, we're behind the times when it comes to e-bikes. At the same time, I think the times, we don't really even know where we are.
Sure.
In regards to all this.
Sure.
So I mean, somebody's going to complain about something.
Of course. I mean, it's layered, pretty layered. So to try to come up with the one sheet's going to be difficult, but we're going to give our best shot to try to help with that.
So I wonder, and this might be controversial, but you know, we've been somewhat forced to consider e-bikes the same way we consider analog bikes right now, right? And so I wonder if it's just a more general etiquette push, that it's like, that we treat them on the trail like, you know,
I'm going to speculate and say that they are less experienced than your average mountain biker. And so that etiquette push, that's my vote.
Yeah, Faith, go ahead.
I mean,
Then Maddie.
two things that come to my mind is like, is there another place that has already faced this issue and has already created protocols that we could reach out to
Yeah.
and look at and base ours on? And also, these protocols can change, can't they? Like,
Sure.
we can create protocols and then in the future, if the data shows that like certain things aren't working, they can be revised.
That's our hope.
Yeah,
That was our hope when we agreed,
Yeah.
well, last year.
and we could adjust some things. Yeah, good point, because
I think it's hard to nail it on your first go.
yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, make it so that there'll be different versions. Like I didn't think for anything, I mean, that it would be, I'd have to worry about Brian passing me on a one wheel on the Brands Trailhead, you know, but that's gonna happen now. So how we,
The area where this type of conflict has existed is, mountain bikers on Porcupine Rim with Jupiter
Right.
UTVs. And, a lot of it's conversations on both ends, right? So I think it's yes together, but also I have found that when e-bikers have approached our staff, they're often curious about how to do it right in these spaces. And I'm not saying that's gonna be, it was different back then, but it's not gonna be the same, but I do think that, there's an internal push to do the right thing
sure,
for these folks.
yeah. Maddie,
Two things. One, we do have a little folder on our drive with like different yield signs from all different communities. And I feel like it is kind of in flux right now because we also have like adaptive hand cycles that people are trying to make an effort to include because there's a lot of situations on the trail where people encounter those and they don't know what they are and there's user conflicts. Dogs, like people are trying to kind of make all of these. So, and some of them have like triangles within triangles. So for the Mud Spring sign, I did take a stab at making one that's just basically like a long skinny
yeah,
triangle.
let me see that.
That I'm trying to get my computer to load for us. I can show you guys.
Yeah, if you want
yeah.
to send it to me, I can put it up on the screen too.
Oh, great. Yeah. And then the other thing is just, I think these are all great ideas. Like, I mean, personal recreation works. Education works.
Yeah.
We have a new nonprofit to help us with that, hopefully. And yeah, and like the nuances of talking to the user groups. One piece of information I have is that when we open the Mud Springs network, which is maybe a little bit different than some trails, I mean, maybe it's kind of similar to a Mossback in some ways, but basically it's like a long climb and then a long descent. So the climbing is really when like those differences in speed tend to come out. So Tyson was saying he did find it interesting because he was like, yeah, I was like riding my acoustic traditional bike, and he's like, I every 3 minutes I was getting passed by new bikers. I was having to pull over, and then it's harder, to start on a acoustic bike. So he was saying like, oh yeah, I can see how that could be like detrimental to user experience if you're kind of like having to stop and start when it's harder for you to go when e-bikes are cruising past. So that might be an example of like maybe, yeah, we do want to have some signage about how e-bikers who have the assist can maybe also be respectful of the effort it takes to climb.
How do you know Prince Creek over near Carbondale, if that system allows even? Because that is kind of similar terrain, I think, in Mud Springs. So
Yep.
if anybody, it's on BLM, parts in Forest and parts in BLM. There's a lot of mountain bike trails over there called Prince Creek.
Yeah, I've ridden there. But it's been 5 or 6 years, so I don't remember.
I wonder, is there an umbrella e-bike organization like an IMBA for e-bikes? Does anybody know?
I don't think so.
There's People for Bikes has done like a lot of advocacy. I mean, I think they are inclusive to all bikes, but I think they've kind of been like the default group.
I mean, I wonder if they actually do anything with etiquette.
Right.
Because, like IMBA took the forefront on mountain bike etiquette way back, 30 years ago.
Yeah, I would just say if anyone can find anything, like let's look this next few weeks and just send it to me, and we can compile it when we talk for our meeting in February. Patrick, you had something?
Well, I like the conversation about etiquette and just that educational push. But I worry if there's too much ambiguity, then everybody's going to interpret that differently. Like I feel like I have the right of way here based on these factors. So I think a concise yield plan, at least I feel like initially with e-bikes, maybe yield to analog, and that's just kind of a thought.
Okay.
Right. Like I've seen these on trailheads, like the analog bikes yield to horses, you yield to hikers, and then sort of e-bikes are at the bottom of that list. I think what's appropriate for one person might not be for the next, and then there's too much ambiguity there.
Sure. Well, there's also, I think, doesn't, any previous NICA coach doesn't have to yield to anyone. Isn't that what I heard? That's what I had understood.
My head's down and I'm
Yeah,
not
I know.
looking.
I knew who I was talking to.
So really for this, we just need to be nice. We need to express, just everybody be nice to each other, be courteous to each other, because.
At the same time, Tim, where I came from, there was a whole new group of bikers that popped in after a big flood that we had in the city, and all these trails opened up and people got into mountain biking. And so there was all these guys that instantly got into downhill mountain biking. And they would spend an hour walking their bikes up to the top of the trails, and when they were coming down, they would never slow down for anyone going up, saying that it was the uphill rider's responsibility and they should not even have to slow down, that the guys coming up that trail should be polite and move out of the way.
To me, that's just ridiculous. I mean, not that it's happening, but the thought that the uphill rider wouldn't have the right of way.
It's a cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
They think that, hey, I'm going downhill, this is a downhill trail, all these other guys should get out of my way.
Right.
But to that, Dave, I mean, I totally agree with that. To me, and to my earlier point, I think one sort of unified message where it doesn't matter who's climbing, if somebody's climbing, you yield to them. I think that when we say, if the person climbing is on this bike, you yield to them. If they're on this bike, you don't yield to them on this bike, or if it's just, like, I think it's just like, we just go back to the drawing board or the original messaging of like, this is just standard trail etiquette, it doesn't matter what bike you're on, if you're climbing, you yield to.
Yeah, but like I said, Emma changed the rules.
Yeah.
And the wording on the rules. And
Yield
it doesn't have a direction anymore.
Right.
And so now it's like these kids will look up these things, they're like, well, it's not appropriate for me to have to stop, I'm going downhill.
Hey, these kids are not looking up the rules.
But if you do
We
look
need
up,
to get the rules to them.
but if you do look up those rules and you show it to them, they'll say, yield but appropriately. It's not appropriate for me to have to slow down when I'm going downhill. When I cross country ski and skate ski, I definitely pull over for the guys going downhill. Because they're not,
They can't.
especially me,
So let me just interject, because this probably will take the rest of the time if we continue on this conversation, and it is very important. So what I'd ask of all of you is to send your ideas, find people that have already done it. Let's not rewrite anything if we don't have to. Please just send it to my email separately, and then I'll combine everything so that everyone doesn't get 20 reply alls. Just send it directly to Brendan, and then I'll combine it and we'll get it out there before February 10th meeting, and then we'll figure out what we can do. And I think a lot of it, really to your point, Tim, is just be kind, be cool. And
One
we'll,
more point, the top of the trail would be a great place to have an easily readable sign, as I agree, a lot of people don't read or don't know how to read, that says uphill has the right of way.
sure,
Very specific.
you can do something.
I mean, if we're willing to stick to that locally as a rule here in Moab, hey, uphill riders, you gotta move out of their way. And it doesn't matter what they're on.
Yeah.
And
that's-
I mean, then if it's a standard for Moab, the word will get out.
Absolutely. It's always appropriate here for,
Okay, let's talk about spring spruce up. I'm gonna have to cut off the conversation. I'm sorry. I know, we're all very excited about it. So we'll be chatting about this February's meeting. We gotta talk about spring spruce up because it is coming up. And we, unlike, as you all know, and as we discussed and decided together, we don't have a county representative that's helping us oversee. So it's really on us to make it happen. And so we, just so you know, and I can send this out to you, but we have kind of like a one sheet of info. So it's April 11th. We got it in the Moab Happening. Samantha made some magic happen. So it's on there. It's on their event calendar. We already got the mark booked, and we also got the alcohol permit done as well, so that we can have beer on Friday. So that was important. And remember that as we all talked about, this is because we don't have all the extra help. This is going to be a Saturday only meeting. So this is so it's time Saturday. We have it reserved from 7:30 a.m. 7:30 to 8ish. So maybe we say 8 a.m. start time, and then at 8 p.m. close time. And so here are the suggestions, kind of digging into it and asking a bunch of you questions. We may not have the funding that we had in prior years. That's a Maddie question mark.
So we do have, there's $5,000 from the city still available. So we can use that in whatever ways seems appropriate. And actually, I'll check that number. That's the total number. We may have slimmed it down a little bit to use for some staffing. But basically, there's a pot of money available, so I can send that out to.
And typically we did it for food. It was like for dinner that we had that's what we used to pay for things.
Yeah, the very first year we did it, we did hire a project manager. But I think the timing isn't going to really work out for that this year because, and there's also sort of a budget stuff.
Budget things. Great.
How does that $5,000 compare? What have previous year budgets been?
Here, let me pull it up. You guys carry on.
And then while you're doing that, so we want to make sure that we have quality over quantity. So we're still going to do quite a few projects. It sounds like Evan, you sent out just an inquiry and how pretty much everyone of last year said they want to do it again. Is that right?
I've got half the folks that have responded.
You have?
Yes. So if there's anyone here that would like to host projects,
Who hasn't responded? Let's put him on the hot seat, Evan. Who hasn't responded? Let's get him.
I don't know.
Okay.
I have not responded to all of it.
You're just being too nice.
You remember this on the online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
How many projects then at this point?
I think like 4 so far.
Okay.
4 to 5.
So we should have a few more than that, but
Remind me the dates.
it's just one day, April 11th. So it's Saturday, pretty much from 8 to 8. If you all can have it on your calendar.
Evan, did you reach out to the city?
Yes. The city is good for at least one project, if not 2.
Cool.
Horsemen are, well, backups in Horsemen are committed to Onion Creek, right? Evan? Did they get back to you? Backups in Horsemen?
I don't believe so.
Marty, did you know that? Do you know if they're Onion Creek? Katie was just saying.
Oh, yeah, actually, we would like to work on the Onion Creek corrals.
Okay, great. Okay, let's hear it, Maddie.
Final answer, $4,000.
4,000.
So not nothing.
If we keep talking, it's gonna get lower, so let's hurry. Move this
Daddy,
along.
what is that a cut from? What have we spent years? Just so we know
Years
what-
past, we budgeted 5,000 total, and we've often like underspent that. So it's not significantly different. We
Right.
also do have 500 set aside for city-sponsored volunteer events, basically like pizza, if there's another cleanup or something like
Okay.
that. So if the city doesn't want us to do that, or doesn't expect that we'll be doing that this year, then we could add that to that spring cruise up fund as well.
And because we're just doing it the one day, that wouldn't be the Friday night pizza the day before. So potentially we could use that on other things. The Landmark, did we hear from Landmark yet? They wanna be a partner?
I haven't heard back yet.
Okay, hopefully we can still have them as a partner, because that's great to have t-shirts and have
Yeah,
them
reach
coming.
back out to them.
Yeah, that would be great. And we had donations and he let me know he would like to do the same thing to have people build their lunches in the morning. So we could have that donated. Antigua Forma, I don't know if you guys know Brock, but he's super cool dude. Okay, and then projects we're talking about. It sounds like from the little committee that we were chatting, we maybe don't need, there's a lot of people that were worried about shuttling a lot, especially out of town people, because there may be some projects where there isn't space to park, but people, the feedback we got from especially out of town people is they want to be able to drive their car there, because if they need to leave, they want to be able to leave, not have to inconvenience. And so we want to think that through with projects. We don't want to inconvenience people. Shuttle companies are happy to help, but it sounds like a lot of people would rather just get themselves to a place.
Maybe a lot easier just to nix shuttling.
I do too. Takes
Unless
out
the-
lots
Unless
of.
the project leader wants to coordinate shuttling on their own and kind of lump that into the project, great, but otherwise I think we should not worry about shuttling.
Great. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one complexity.
So tentative schedule Saturday, 7:30 to 8 would be the signups, coffee, pastries, t-shirts, lunch building. And then 9 a.m. head to projects. And then those go till whenever, till 3 p.m. typically, and then 5 to 8 is the after party, and then 8 to 9 is cleanup, is what we have potentially on there.
You mentioned Landmark, Brendan. So what's their role? Are they going to be tabling, or is that an option for them to potentially?
Yeah, so last time they had a table, if you remember last year, there's everybody that had a project had a table, and then we also had Landmark because they were a sponsor. So they paid for the beer, and did pizza and something else, and then they brought all the t-shirts, which is a big cost. So hopefully we can have them do that. And if anyone else wants to do that, we're happy to have them sit at a table as well if they want to donate that, if we don't get a whole landmark. And I've got some other contacts if not. And then so the other piece that we want to talk about that Sam submitted to all of you was that, and hopefully you watched that little short clip of the best day ever, and I dug into it. Super cool.
Yeah.
And so you have some contact with these folks.
Yeah.
You want to just give a quick
Sure.
description if people didn't watch that trailer?
Yeah, this is a new short documentary. It's made by the same documentary film crew that made Damnation, and they've done a few other kind of adventure-y documentaries. This is a story about the Kelly Brush Foundation. Kelly Brush was a college athlete who was paralyzed in a ski racing accident. The foundation, she survived. She's done amazing stuff. But she formed a foundation which originally funded ski racing safety equipment for colleges and community hills. They have since expanded massively to provide grants for adaptive equipment for a variety of sports. This film is about 50 minutes long, and it follows two of their athletes primarily, but there are a lot of other characters in it. And it depicts their injury and their journey back into sports, and specifically through mountain biking. And yeah, I think it's equal parts like stoke of like these people are doing what on hand cycles, and also kind of a call to action to able-bodied recreation communities to figure out how we make room for more adaptive athletes to use our public amenities.
They're not afraid of anything. Watching them go down those trails.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. And so yeah, the KBF, Kelly Brush Foundation people wanted to do a screening in Moab. I suggested that Spring Spruce Up could be a good time because in the past we've done it as kind of an entire weekend with a film screening on Friday and then the event on Saturday and a group ride Sunday or something like that. I remember in the past, specifically with the movie from the Navajo Nation. I think this could be similar if we wanted to add an event on either end of, or on one end or the other of Spring Spruce Up Saturday. It could also be a different weekend. April 10th or 11th, it sounds like not a lot of people from KBF would be available, but it's possible that one of the feature athletes would be able to come to Moab and speak before or after the film. I think if we were willing to support it for a different weekend, we could ask them what their availability is and kind of narrow it down from there.
Can I give my idea?
Yeah.
So I went down the rabbit hole and looked at everything about this best day ever. Looked at the athletes, looked at some of their videos on Instagram. It's so cool. And we're packing everything into that Saturday, and I just don't think we'd be able to give it the service and attention that it should, as well as maybe even, doing a screening, collecting tickets, doing something to give back to that community. And so one idea that Samantha and I had talked to, and Sam a little bit today, but then we get just really out to their athletes, et cetera, is to have that in collaboration with the grand opening of Mud Springs, which is an adaptive trail. That maybe that's something we can do instead of trying to cram this in and kind of have it to be an afterthought into Spring Spruce Up, have it be like there's an adaptive trail opening, and for that opening as part of a celebration, maybe we can get the high school theater, or maybe, we could do something a little bit bigger than that. That was my
awesome.
Is that the following weekend?
It's tax day. I think the grand opening is the 24th, even though the trail opens on the 16th.
24th?
So it's like the grand opening
Yeah, right.
celebration.
Save the date, hold for it.
Yeah. So the trail officially opens on Thursday, the 16th, but we're going to save the grand opening ribbon cutting for the 24th, the following Friday.
Is this March?
So so Sam, I guess it really depends. Like, you should hit them up about that date and see if that's something that.
Well, maybe I'll float with them both those weekends, the weekend of the 16th and of the one after. to see when they would be able to come to town. And also see if they have any interest in participating in some sort of group ride. Get out there on Mud Springs.
As far as the movie, could it be the library sponsored movie? Could anyone approach the library about putting it on there?
I haven't approached, I'm offering this as a programmatic thing that Trail Mix could do for free, could fundraise for Trail Mix or for Kelly Brush Foundation, but they're well funded.
Or Stewart Moab.
Or Stewart Moab, and yeah, Anna.
My hand isn't.
Anna.
But so this is, so just like the Moab Guide Summit, where we are bringing out a father who has developed adaptive equipment for his daughter to access these spaces, and he's our keynote. And this kind of falls in line with Dovetail of last year. This aspect of the Spring Spruce Up or Mud Springs opening is something that I think Stewart Knott could support.
Cool.
Because it does align with our mission.
Cool. That's
So,
great.
Connect, Sam, let's connect.
Yeah.
And we can help create.
Okay.
Just sort of an FYI for everyone about the ribbon cutting for Mud Springs. There are a lot of kitchen, even just on the Grand County
Yes,
side.
there
So point person for that is Quinn Hall, my boss, because lots of, so I won't actually be the point person.
And obviously, San Juan County, Lori, I think is the main point person there.
Yeah,
So
so yeah, I think basically Quinn is sort of making sure that
we're communicating with.
because we
Okay.
have like 4 different county departments.
So I guess if you hear back on that 24th date, let us know and we'll communicate. Hi, Kaya.
That's a Friday.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Thanks for your patience.
16th is a Thursday.
Right.
Yeah, so
What's happening on the 16th?
that's the day it opens to rides.
Oh,
So, so what are you thinking, Dave? That,
Well, I'm just saying the 24th being a Friday and that's gonna be our grand opening day. The fact that it is a hand cycle friendly, oh my God, and it is. I just think that this is an amazing opportunity to try to pull something together. But when is your guide summit?
It's in
thing?
March.
Oh, okay.
So this, like, this is something I can do. Is, put together a night, maybe some time to speak.
Yeah.
And then, with your support and everyone here, just like Res Duro, we could push it out to our local and regional community.
That's awesome. Okay, well, we'll wait to hear back from Sam for this group, but I think what a cool thing that we could support. And
Towards the 24th.
yeah.
I think that'd be cool to make it, they're big,
So awesome. Yeah.
And talk to Samantha. She would like to offer up free shuttles for the Spruce Up workers again on that Sunday. But also, if we wanted to incorporate that later on the 24th, she and also Western Spirit would like to support that as well. So maybe it's a screening and shuttles the next day or the same day or whatever.
And if for some reason an outdoor screening would be preferred or indoor, venues are not available, the city just purchased the new outdoor screening equipment.
Oh, cool.
So that's an option. The weather could be tenuous that time of year.
Right.
But
That'd be good.
that's an option.
Then we could do we could reserve Star Hall plus the outdoor screen or whatever. We could figure it out.
just to have options.
That's cool. Awesome. Okay. All right. That was a lot on that. So thank you. And if all of you, please, for Spruce Up, please have that date on your calendar. We're going to need all of your help because we don't have lots of organizing. So we'll need your help on that. So please plan on, if you're able to, plan on attending, plan on bringing your friends. And
Is that the 14th of March?
no, it's the April 11th for Spring Spruce Up. Yeah.
Last question. What is like the deadline for proposing projects?
Just tell me you're interested right now, when you're feeling willing to commit. We don't need to know what the actual project is until like a couple weeks before.
I'm interested. It's
Sounds-
tough. It's tough
sounds great.
time of year for guides.
Yeah.
I bet.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, I think GCAT for maintenance or trail work Wednesdays, we've been a resource, but we're gonna be kind of tied up in our own project.
Yeah.
So we can help scout and do all that kind of stuff, but the day of, you'll be on your own, basically.
Would it be possible if I found, like, if I have to work if I found someone else to lead a project. Of course. Does that work? Okay,
And
yeah.
Faith, I was just with Chris from Vineyard Creek, and he was talking about how interested they are at finding things on the ground up here.
Cool. Yeah, I'm thinking of one of them who's not a guide.
Yeah,
Could be, take a leadership role.
Yeah.
We could collaborate on coming up with a project.
absolutely.
Right? Okay, so more on this, but please plan on having your calendars, and then Sam, I'll send out whatever you find out to the group here so we can plan for it. Okay, we've got several GCAT items here on it, and so let me just look really quick, Mandy, to see. I'm just checking off some stuff on the discussion items, and I can just turn it over to your whole crew. So please, if you haven't completed the Utah Open Meetings training and discussions, all you voting members, if you could please do that and then send me your confirmations, I would appreciate it. I think that's it. So I think everything else on here, discussion items, is GCAT related. So Maddie, you want to start with Falcon Climb updates? You or Evan?
Falcon Climb is open. Who's ridden it?
Woo!
Is it so sandy still?
No, it's pretty good.
And it will be, oh, great, good to hear. Yeah, it's gonna be sandy for a while, but I think it's gonna pack in pretty well. As we've seen in the past, anything that goes through really healthy crypto beds really packs in. So this is gonna be a really firm trail eventually. Yeah, we had a bunch of volunteer efforts for a couple of weeks that we did it, and we got it done super quickly. There was a lot of just like cut and rake and ride stuff, and then there was some more intensive stuff through the rocks that our crew busted out really quickly. So it goes up to the Juniper hiking trail right now, and then hops on the Sandflats Road. Eventually, it might be this spring, but it might have to wait till next fall, or this coming fall. It will continue all the way up to the top of Falcon Flow, so you're off of the road the entire time. But for now, it's open. The trail name, you might see the signs that are to be changed. We like the name Updraft. It was cute, but there's actually another trail in the Sandflats that you may or may not know about called Updraft.
What? No. I didn't know that.
There's an unsigned, unmarked, though official route that goes off of Slip Rock to Updraft Arch. Off Elf's Revenge. So it's Falcon Climb, not Updraft. Falcon Climb. Yeah, so there's a limit for, I think it's nesting birds for building. So if we can get the crew out in February, then we might be able to complete a little bit more of that. But depending on what weather does, it might have to be next fall. But either way, the first little bit is running pretty well, it seems like.
It's great. Thank you. And
Yeah.
thanks to all you I know there's several in here that volunteered.
Yeah, Tim was out there, I think, every single day, so.
How much of what's left
Mhm.
is technical rock work as opposed to,
I think
Rake.
next to none. Yeah.
so would it be possible, if you're talking about waiting till fall,
Mhm.
for you to sparsely flag it and maybe walk it with a couple of us volunteers and then just let us go work on it?
Eventually. We do have an all-star cast of volunteers right now, so.
Well, it's just, it would be nice to keep working on it, and if
Totally.
there's only a couple sections that need you guys' help and stuff, as long as it's already flagged, we know it's required, so it's.
Yeah.
Don't argue that, Evan. Just say yes. Give that man the shovel. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hard maybe, because we gotta probably talk to the DLM about, because I think we're supposed to be supervising. So we'll just have to chat.
I didn't quite understand, hear that.
Oh, just talking about logistics for the next phase of the Falcon Climb
Oh,
Trail.
yeah.
We'll do that one.
Katie approves him doing that. This is what she's. what
You
she
know, I
said.
mean, they would be under Evan's supervision. He might not be there. But they'd be.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you guys
We'll
flag
chat,
it.
we'll chat.
That's great.
Good thought, though.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, Maddie, next,
Falcon Climb.
next on the discussion item was were the master plan.
Great. Okay, so Katie Murphy, who you guys are familiar with as a county employee, so she was our special project coordinator, specifically to manage the master plan update project, which was grant funded. Her it was a temporary position, so she has completed it. So she's no longer a county employee. So if you see her around, she's still in town, but she's moved on to other things for now. And where we are with the master plan. So I apologize, I meant to write down a few more dates, but basically end of November, early December, we went through a public hearing process, both for the city and for the county, because it's a cooperative plan, but they kind of need their own parallel processes. And then for the city, it was adopted on, I want to say the 9th, if my calendar would load. That sounds
That's right.
right. Yeah. So the city fully So their planning commission for the city recommended it to be adopted, and then the city adopted it on December 9th. On the county side, so that's now the new non-motorized trail master plan for the city. On the county side, the public hearing was, or the planning commission voted on it on December 15th. And so they recommended it for approval. But it doesn't seem like it's going to move forward at this point with the county commission. So it's going to stay, that's where it's going to stay basically. So currently the Grand County master plan is still that 2011 adopted plan.
With, how can it move, how could it be approved? And is that what the, how does that work, John? Or just, it just needs to be voted for?
November.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they haven't voted at all? You haven't voted at all?
No, the commission hasn't voted at all. Like Maddie said, the planning commission recommended to forward it, and
Right.
it hasn't been brought to the commission yet. There's reasons for that, as you can imagine. It's, I don't know, likely not palatable to a majority of the commissioners.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank
that.
you. Thank you. So then,
Should we send an email?
So,
no?
to be honest, from the staff perspective, we were pretty tightly scheduled for this next year. So I do have some concerns, like we kind of had our window to work on that project and we had a staff person dedicated to it. And now that window's, it's closed.
Yeah.
So I do worry about, you know, if it resurfaces and requires a lot of work, we don't really have the capacity to do that at this point. So I'm fine with just letting it be where it is.
Okay. Okay, and then let's chat about the RTP grant.
Oh yeah, you wanna?
Overview.
So RTP grant, that's the Recreational Trails Program grant. And actually I owe the commission an update because there's been some emails about maybe the funding at the federal level changing for that. I talked to the state grant administrator, so it's administered by the state, but it's actually federal money from Federal Highway Administrations. He's the federal grant manager from state. He thought that RTP was probably going to be fine, but there are some restructurings happening to the alternative transportation programs, transportation alternative programs, TAP, which funds safe routes to schools and like a whole variety of ones that I'm actually not super familiar with, but I was just in the process of learning about them when I heard they might change or go away. So we probably as a community should be keeping an eye on that because those are grants that are extremely related to trails and active transportation, especially for paved paths, which the county is investing in creating more paved paths, and those are going to be maintenance, and grants are a good fund for that. But for this year, as far as we know, RTP, we're planning for it, hope for the best. So the application is due April 1st. I am going to New Zealand on Friday and I will be gone for 5 weeks. And I will not be checking email.
Cool.
So for the timing of this tour, basically we wanted the Trail Mix Committee to discuss it this month. Next month, Evan will present a letter of support if, with guidance from you all.
So please send that out ahead of time, Evan, right? Before the meeting, so we can get that on the, okay.
Yeah. And then hopefully next month, so the February meeting, the committee can vote on it. And then the next step is when I get back, I can immediately go to the commission and move forward with, some backing from our advisory groups. So that's kind of the timeline we got to stick to, even though it seems far away, it'll be here before we know it. Let's see. I guess one more thing about this grant program, we basically applied every single year since 2016. We've been very lucky that we've gotten it every single year.
Wow.
However, it's gotten a lot more competitive. So last year, they actually, even though we were ranked in the top, they just cut 25% off everybody. And then we actually ended up getting some of that back because we were trying to work things out with supporting the Trail Master program and a new nonprofit. So they kind of worked with us on that. But yeah, so we do have to, we've been very lucky. It's not always a guarantee. So we do want to have like a pretty solid application to give us our best shot. So to talk about our ideas.
Yeah, so I think the backbone for the grant is like, we use these grants to pay for most of our trail staff, our trail crew staff. And it's a combination of like special projects to change, depending on what narrative Maddie the Wizard utilizes. But a lot of it's just like keep our trails on that routine maintenance schedule. We see usually about like somewhere between 3 to 6 years is like what trails need to kind of have like an overhaul, as you've seen, just the trails in the melting desert that we live in, just erode down. So, we need like, this is gonna plan for a lot of maintenance across all of our trail networks, but the narrative behind it is kind of what we're gonna be focusing on. So with the introduction of e-bikes, I think no matter what happens, no matter where you stand on e-bikes, user patterns are going to change. Whether that means the increased speed that they provide, change the trails a little bit, whether it means that there's more people that come because of e-bikes, or it's the same exact number of people that are going to be using these trails. E-bikes let you cover more ground, so therefore more use. So no matter what, we're going to be able to lean on the fact that there's going to be like changing use patterns, and that's going to be, I think, the backbone of the grant application. And then it's just kind of like fleshing out like other ideas along those lines. So I think we're open to ideas from anyone else on this program for sure, or in the committee for sure, about e-bikes, but that's going to be the foundation of what the grant's going to be about.
Are there new bills to put on it? Is some of the borrowing stuff going on it?
We're gonna have to check on that because, and just so you all are aware too, like with the March 1st opening for e-bikes, because we are mostly primarily funded by grants, we do have like we're basically scheduled out until, is it spring of 2027? I mean, we're scheduled out, in the fall, we're scheduled out for the next several years with most springs. So basically, like if something comes up like e-bikes, we actually don't have a lot of capacity to like switch gears and work on other projects. So we're kind of expecting, we'll do our best with, stickers and signage with e-bikes in March, just as the BLM. But if we do see changing use patterns, if we see like, for example, things we might be paying attention to are if there's just like more traffic or more two-way traffic, we might need to go through and add more pullouts to trails. We might need to adjust signage in 2 years. We might need to, if there's big open areas where it's like a little bit more tempting maybe for folks to like cut switchbacks or cut cross country, we might need to do a little bit of like hard delineation. Just like kind of a lot of unknowns. So basically we want to prepare for maybe having big adjustments in 2 years, or it might just be that there's just more people and we're just managing that. So that's sort of the what on the ground stuff is like. Lines of sight is another thing we talked about. Again, if people are just using trails in different ways, like they're now going faster in areas where people used to go quite slow, we just might need to make some tweaks. And it's kind of both for like safety, right? And then also just user experience. So it's a overlapping significantly with the current user group, but it is a slightly different user group. And so we just want to make sure that also they're having good experience out there. And then like Evan mentioned, we're also curious about if people are going to be wanting to do like longer loops, right? Because it kind of lowers that physical barrier. Like you have an assist, so you can maybe go further than you would if you're on a traditional bike. So like right now, we have lots of big loops or connecting trails that connect, condos to the brands. And we can see on Strava, like they aren't getting a ton of use, but like that might be a new popular route, right? Like opening up opportunities. So kind of looking at those areas that right now are getting low to moderate use that might jump up in popularity.
Yeah. Okay.
But also with the RTD grant, we can kind of throw stuff on there. Like they kind of like when we have like equestrian, like they don't mind if we put a bunch of stuff on there. So if you guys have ideas of like, equestrian climbing access, any of those things that would be shovel ready by spring of 2027, then that it would be appropriate.
Yeah, I have a question about theater cinema. Theater cinema and where when? Yeah, I remember we chatted about it a while ago. We should take a look. Maybe.
I couldn't hear it.
Oh, theater cinema.
Yeah.
Where's that project?
I don't think we've done our survey yet. I don't think we've got our survey yet.
So I think it's in the NEPA process or everything.
Well, I really think it's in the new process. I think it's the survey first. There's no EA going on.
Okay.
But usually it's that, sometimes the longest thing to say is the survey, so it's really the archaeologists available. So I wouldn't count on that. I was going to ask, since the RTP is funded on gas tax, bring on more, a little tiny 10% or probably less of what you pay in your tax on gas for your car is actually, that's where that RTP is coming from. We 100% confident that e-bikes are in that classification location? Or are we 100% positive they're in the motorized? Because I hate that they have to be disallowed because we're using it for.
So the state, last time I talked to the administrators, they were not concerned about using non-motorized RTP for class 1 e-bikes because I think the consensus is that that's moving that direction. So I can confirm,
I
but
would confirm before you put a whole lot.
yeah,
I mean, you could still make the same argument that we're gonna have more use of our trails.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter why.
and I think, well, I think the reason behind that was because the motorized RTP, and you might know more about this than I do, but it's maybe more tied to, like, it's the same as everything, right? It's kind of this gray area and they kind of go in the middle, so they just had to maybe pick a category for it.
Mhm.
But I will follow up on that.
I mean, it's all how you just spin it. I mean, I don't think it would change it. If use changes or use increases, that's gonna work.
Yeah, and I mean, so for Mud Springs Phase 1, because that was both, we tied together both an RTP grant and a UR grant, so we matched federal funding with state funding for that project. And that was a non-motorized RTP grant for Mud Springs, which included class 1 e-bike.
Okay.
We'll draft an email.
Matt, anything else from GCAT before we go on to the rest of the member reports?
I guess just if you do have ideas about projects that are, you know, will be shovel ready in 2 years. If they require a NEPA, that is maybe a bit of a different issue. But it's, anyway, but hopefully this will spur things on. So even if you have ideas at the early stages that maybe aren't suitable for this grant, we can at least start getting the ball rolling or getting things in the pipeline. But if you do have ideas for things that are like pretty much ready to go and just need money, just email Evan. Both of us as soon as you can. Just know that I will be gone on Friday. So.
Cool.
Can I clarify something?
Yeah.
What do you mean by shovel ready?
So for example, if there's a trail that's like designated, like a Braxis Climbing Access Trail, and that needs work, like that'd be a very easy thing to be like, we want to do maintenance on this trail. Sometimes we can write it more generally to just say like, there's a few climbing access trails that need maintenance, and we can put, you know, it just kind of depends on the project. If it's just like a day of work, you know, that might be more suitable for just like a kind of standalone volunteer thing. But if there's like a few things that you see as needs that we should maybe be thinking about for, again, like spring 2027 or fall 2027.
And would this end up being a volunteer day, or would it actually be GCAT employees going out and just working on it?
It would be, it depends on the project. So I mean, climbing access trails usually are technical, so we probably want staff out there because also like your requires rock bars, maybe grip hoist. So it's project dependent, but either we'd have staff supervising volunteers, or if it were like a more, like when we built Abraxas, like we did spend quite a long time just our crew on it. So yeah, basically it's just a conversation. It just depends on how much work, where, when.
Last question. Does it have to be in a certain boundary? Like, does it have to be in this county?
Grand County.
Okay, so it's the same one.
Can't be in Green Creek.
No, I was thinking isn't Mill Creek in San Juan?
We do actually have an interlocal agreement. So
that's
San Juan
would be
County
potential?
for that area of the mountains. So we are able to work in there. And then also, you know, potentially the Forest Service could, not to offer up Ryan, but you know, there might be a way where like the Forest Service does that grant or, you know, or something.
Yeah, and shovel ready would be a question up there if they have something we haven't had that on.
Mill Creek is already on a grant that we have active. It's just a matter of how much we actually do up there.
Yeah, it has a lot of need, and it's been mentioned a lot in the survey now.
Yeah.
So shovel ready, like Brian said, it means the surveys have been done.
Right.
It's been done. everything's
Permits,
done. So
surveys.
that Abraxas is a good example. So we have an EA on making that climbing access trail official, whereas takeout crags, we do not have that. So, I guess you call them designated, the trails that are designated are kind of good to go. I mean, because maintenance is part of it. Any approval, once you're gonna do maintenance, so maintenance is already taken care of.
Is it fair to say I could just send you ideas and you can veto them if they're not? Yes.
And we love ideas, even if it doesn't fit with this grant necessarily, is like getting stuff in the pipeline for the NEPA EA process is great. I mean, start that a couple of years early.
Yeah.
So ideas,
Yeah.
let them run.
And I think Katie, jump in if I'm wrong, but I think in the past too, because for some of the climbing access trails, so they're hiking, they're social trails, right? A lot of them are like unofficial social trails to a destination. And so there have been times when there's like at, Ice Cream Parlor, there was literally 16 different trails originally going up there. And so we, basically we can also go in and like make one more visible, like delineate it and then block the others or like, so that it's not exactly like building a trail, but it's kind of just excluding all of the extra redundant options.
Channeling people.
Yeah. Because we've done that before without going through NDA.
Okay.
Cool, thanks.
One more question, Maddie, or Evan, what's the build schedule for this year? What's on the docket?
For springtime, we've got Navajo Rocks is gonna be our main push out there with a lot of just other miscellaneous touch-ups everywhere else and installing a bunch of wayfinding signage. Summer, we'll be up in the mountains, doing mountain things alongside the trail crew.
Do we have that rehab grant for fire trails this summer? Okay.
Yep. So that's grant funded this year when in the past it's been Forest Service funded.
So we're hoping to use the Forest Service match to fund Evan, because that's something that the Forest Service agreement has covered in the past that our new grant will cover.
Okay.
And kind of budget super tight, so we're trying to pluck every last dollar.
And then fall is Wet Springs Phase 1.2.
What are the brands on the?
I think we've got a couple of the easier low-hanging fruit trails this spring. I think that's one of the things that we'll be doing.
We have 2 to 3 weeks scheduled for the spring, and it kind of depends on weather. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in mid-November to mid-December. Again, also a little bit weather dependent, but usually it's pretty nice out there.
And Evan, Yoni already gave you the okay for the, you went out and checked for Penny JNS and the area.
Awesome.
Yeah, week before Thanksgiving is when we're scheduled for brands.
Yeah.
Cool.
Does that include the low hang, is that the ones right around Lazy Easy as well as the ones down by?
I can't remember if Easy is, but I know the Rusty Spur extension, that goes from the parking lot to Rusty Spur and not having to ride on a pipeline road. One of the downhill trails that's on the other side of the bike path, Sidewinder, and one other one that I can't recall.
Okay.
But yeah, I think basically half the trails that we're putting into the pipeline, we're gonna focus on this year.
Chuck's got a whole team of.
Yeah.
Super excited about that.
We do. Lots of
Yeah.
it. Everybody's excited about them, so. Okay, thank you. Let's just, everyone stand and stretch and get a cup of coffee real quick and then we'll go with the rest of the member reports. We're gonna do Faith and then Kaya, because they said they might have to leave somewhat soon.
Can I go?
Oh, yeah, Patrick, you bet. Okay.
What's the band?
What's the 500 Club? I don't know what that is. Am I part of that club?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. I mean, you're looking extra strong, so I get it.
You guys might be, I calculated.
How are you?
Oh, really?
Like a constant.
So 100 miles. Every mile an hour.
Huh. Interesting.
I was like, really?
That's so much data.
Well, that's cool that you did it though. 500 times. I can count 500 times where I didn't go to the gym. I know that. Yeah, that's 500 times where I didn't. I don't know about you. Sam's strong, so he is. It's hard to go to the gym in the morning.
Yeah,
It's awesome. I've been into one constant winter lunch rides. That's what I've been able to get out.
Yeah, Cancellation permits?
Never again. Where?
We're putting in for all of ours.
These are Grand Canyon.
Oh, yeah. We're outside. I'm so sorry.
I know. I'm kind of dying. I brought mine.
Listen, you can take off your pants. This is a safe place to do it. Okay? So we're in good company. That's what they do. We, there was zero sunshine when we went out there and I had 3 kids like, please, this sucks. That's why we're here. Now it's sunshine.
I know, now it's really.
It would be cold. All right. Faye, do you wanna go first? Because I know you said you had the jet.
Sure.
Okay. All right, everybody. Faye's gonna give her a report.
Yeah, knowledge report has been, neck deep in administrative tasks, with my business, because it's the start of the new year. But I'm still circulating my survey, still waiting for some admins on.
Oh, Amy, sorry.
Yeah, I posted it months ago on the climbers page and just realized yesterday that it never got approved, so seeing it, so that might be why no one gave any additional feedback. But yeah, still working on that. Yeah, thinking about collaborating with Friends of Indian Creek on more things. It sounds like they're interested in getting more trail work. I don't know, doing something regarding trail work around Moab. It seems like they're in a transitional phase because they just got new board members. And so historically, they've been very focused on Indian Creek, but Access Fund does a ton of work down there. And so even though, of course, there's always trail work needs in Indian Creek, I would say Moab has a lot more trail work needs. Most of the trails in Indian Creek are pretty good. So yeah, I'm kind of just looking at more ways to collaborate with people in the climbing community here to also take things off my plate, but also just find ways to work together and get more trail stuff done.
Awesome.
I think that's really it.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
available this spring for a few days here and there.
Cool.
If you got projects.
Awesome. Yeah, and I guess in a future meeting, once I have a little more feedback, I'll give like an overview of what my survey has gathered. So I'll further it.
While it's fresh in my mind, Maddie, Evan, the work Wednesday for February, what do we think? I know the colder months, sometimes we skip.
Yeah, I'd be fine with a winter break.
Okay. Okay. All right, so March then, we'll plan for March for work Wednesday in March. Okay, that sounds great. Let's see, Kaya, do you want to go next? Can you hear us? Hi.
I can hear you. Hi. Sorry, I'm just standing in my kitchen while Arthur naps, trying to take advantage of the time. I don't really have anything to update. I did see the email that you sent me from Kathy about the condition of the Hidden Valley Trail. I do think that tends to be its condition when it doesn't have recent work done on it, which I think is right now. I think the last big push we had was after the flooding a couple years ago. We really worked on the lower part from the parking lot until it really starts to get the elevation gain up against the rocks, but really not a lot of stuff on the rocks there. But I mean, it is always pretty chunky. You know, there's always some big steps up and big steps down. I don't know if that's something that like is worth addressing, whether we want it to remain that way, if we want to make a big push to make something that's more sustainable about the trail. But I do think it's a super, super heavily trafficked trail, particularly by locals, and it would be, as far as hiking trails go, I think probably the most bang for our buck if we really wanted to get after an existing hiking trail that's close to town that people certainly use and appreciate. If we really wanted to make a big push for trail work on a hiking trail rather than a biking trail sometime this year.
Maybe like that could be a work Wednesday in March or April or something like that.
Yeah, I think so, for sure.
One note is that Hidden Valley is outside of GCAT's purview.
Oh, it is?
So yeah.
It is.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay. Katie, are you okay if we work on Hidden Valley as a work Wednesday? Yeah. I thought you would say that, so. Awesome.
We have in the past. We have had that as a work day in the past.
Yep. Cool. Has Arthur been on a starter bike yet? That's what I want to know.
He has not been on his.
Okay.
He is not.
Okay.
He's currently learning how to sit up. So that comes before the biking,
I thought you
unfortunately.
taught him the Strider bike first, then sit up.
He'll be stoked about it though. He's like a very, very active little fellow. So I think he'll be pretty excited the minute he can use it. So
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kai. I appreciate you being
yeah, thanks
on.
guys. Sorry I couldn't be there today. It was just chaos trying to do 2 meetings and get myself there.
Glad to have you here for sure.
Thanks.
Patrick.
Yeah, just some ongoing projects in the city, the Rotary Park, Creek project, the Gabion Baskets is ongoing, hopefully in the next 3 weeks or so. I know those of you who use the path through Rotary there have been affected. You have had to go around to that parking lot, so hopefully that project will be wrapping up soon. Project down by the youth garden. It's not affecting the parkway per se, but that's well underway. That's a little farther out from completion. We had the open house, and I apologize if this is redundant. I'm not sure if we had a meeting that I missed between this and the open house with Landmark for the design for the wayfinding. That was super well attended by a lot of different entities, and I thought a lot of good stuff came out of that. And some of these smaller focus groups, and so excited to get that project rolling and work with the county on a comprehensive kind of plan for wayfinding for the parkway and beyond.
Awesome.
So,
just to pass along to the city, I still get, there's like the one Shelmix email to Gmail that I remember to check maybe twice a month. Sometimes I forward them to Maddie or sometimes but several people have found that email had several more requests for people talking about the trail over by the Bark Park, trying to figure that out, the connecting thing. I think that's the kind of the piece that's making that Mill Creek Trail disconnected. So I know we brought it up before.
Yeah, we talked about a better temporary crossing at 300 until that 300 South Bridge project gets underway.
Yeah.
And there was a funding update that came out of strategic planning, I know, for that. So I know that's
Even if you can just have signage, if we can do something for signage, so we're showing that we're doing something, I think that would be really good. Because it's kind of just been we haven't done anything for it since.
Yeah, it just fits you out in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
So we talked about signage, we talked about a better crossing.
Yeah.
There, there's a lot of options on the table, and that's definitely been a big one that we've spoken with Mike.
Okay, great. I'll just let people know and pass that along. But I also said to feel free to write the city council, what they're talking about that. So.
Or just this one.
Yeah, don't worry, the city. No, I actually gave you your specific email, your individual and phone number and address. He doesn't live too far from there. Go talk to him. That's what I said. Great. All right, Katie, BLM.
Well, we are embracing America's 250th anniversary of the BLM. So we're going to have a series of, we're actually going to try and things we do all the time, like National Public Lands Day, are going to be 250th anniversary National Public Lands Day. So we're going to brand some of our normal stuff that way, but we're also going to have some extra things, like we're going to be leading some guided hikes, and we're going to have a open house here at the Grand Center in March, just an afternoon, evening thing, like what does the BLM do? So look for those types of activities if you're interested. And then I don't think we have any NEPA trail projects going on that I know of. Am I correct?
I think so.
You guys don't have anything in this? No. We do have a few tweaks to the motorized that we're working on. One of which does involve that approach down at Amisaback to have the motorcyclists or Grand County Motorized Trail Committee has asked to borrow a little bit of that trail to go around that bad beginning part on Amisaback so that they can get down to the bottom and then they go back up. So that's affects drunks a little bit. So, and then we have our first running event on bike trails on January 31st. It's the Arches Ultra, and it's a running event on the far end and a little bit of the Klondike trails. But January 31st, I won't expect too many people. And then on February 28th, I think it is. Matt here, are those right?
He's not, but he sent me a message, so I'll read it.
That is the running race up on, they call it the Red Hot, but it's up on Gemini and
around that are there.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm Lily. I'm also with the BLM, and for those of you who don't know, I've been an intern. I started in September working on trail accessibility and recreation, specifically adaptive mountain bikes, hand cycles, which we talked about a little bit today. And I've been spending my time taking objective trail measurements, which include trail width, grade, cross slope, and documenting any obstacles on trails, and involves rolling this single wheel device with a bunch of sensors. And I just calculated my totals, and I recorded 56 trails, and it was a ton of mountain bike trails, and then a few of the popular BLM hikes like Fisher Towers and Corona Arch, because adaptive mountain bikes are considered mobility aids, so they are allowed anywhere hikers are allowed. So 56 trails, a total of 106 miles of trail. That's about the fastest I ever went is like 1 mile an hour. So a lot of hours.
Screaming fast.
Yeah. And now I'm working on creating new signage, but that Trailhead is also we're working on creating an interactive map, so like trail users can go online and see like what trails actually are like, how wide they are, how steep they are, and what obstacles they might be on it. It's a super cool project.
Well, we're excited you're doing that for adaptive riders,
Yeah.
and being part of it. And so thanks for, and you're going to be outside while it's cold. Well, it's really cold. So thanks for walking all of our trails. Any surprises while you've been out?
I got asked if I was a unicyclist probably at least once a day. 3 months. But everyone I encountered always thought what I was doing was super cool.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for doing that, Lee. That's really great. And then Katie, do we know any updates on Carrie and Child? Is their name? Did you give us a name? I don't remember.
Juniper.
Oh yeah, Juniper.
When did this happen?
Juniper. I knew it was, huh?
When did this happen? Nobody told me. Oh, you weren't at that meeting.
Carrie Melton.
I got contact with BLM.
Right around Thanksgiving. Off on parental leave until March or so. And everybody seems to be doing real well.
Would you all like we did a cool Strider bike, which still a little disappointed that Kai hasn't put the baby on yet, but we were thinking of doing a similar thing for Carrie. If you guys think that would be a cool, if people, so I'll send a message, and if you'd like to kick in. Last time we just Venmo'd me and went through David Glover at the cyclery and got him something. So we'd like to do the same thing for Juniper, which is a great name. So it'd be fun to, when she gets back, that we could give her that. So I'll send a note out to you all, and it'd be great to have that for her. So thank you. Brian, Carrie had a baby, Juniper, around Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Thanks for keeping me on.
Yep, I got you.
Winter has not started up great if you're into snow, but it is slowly moving in. This is the latest we've ever closed the roads. Warner and Uwa, we finally closed last week. Usually we're, much earlier. People were ice skating on Uwa till like the end of the year, which was kind of cool. So we kept it open, but they are closed now. Grand County's been awesome with plowing. Cody's really good to work with. We took them some donuts the other day, but nobody was there, so we had to pass them out of the parking lot. And everybody's like, "This is a normal Forest Service thing." Yeah, we do this every Friday. So super cool. If you see any plow guys, give them a nod, pat them on the back. It's such a cool thing to have. I think we take it for granted that we have that plowing going on up there. It's still, I think, the highest plowed road in the state, and nobody's correcting me on that, so I continue. Wow. Skiing's not been great. I think I mentioned it last time, but we have a new camera on a snow stake up there, kind of like ski resorts have. So if you're into snow, you can get on there and hourly look at that camera.
Oh, really?
We've always had a snow stake that gives a total, but now we got a visual thing.
Whoa.
Kind of cool. We get a lot of people looking at it.
It's great.
Going along with the mixed messaging, we continue to get, we're actually going to be able to hire recreational seasonals. We just found out like 2 days ago, which is a little late in the game right now, but we may be able to hire seasonals this year for recreation only, which is interesting. I don't know why they're telling us this in January after they said maybe we're going to all lose our jobs and now we're going to like hire seasonals. So who knows?
That's been the theme the last few years.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't know where the money's coming from. I don't know who's doing it, but we might be able to do that. So that's great. We might be able to add to our trail crew this year with that. We talked a little bit about GCAT agreements, trying to get the other one extended. And I think I found money for a new one too. So we've got grants to cover us this year. Maybe we'll do a 27 agreement. I don't know. I'll get in touch with those. And then we have a couple of projects that, so basically our NEPA list and our project we're working on are very limited right now. And we're putting a lot of effort into huge surprise vegetation treatments and other things, but not anything else. So I've been trying to get some projects onto our NEPA list, and there's two of them I think we're gonna be able to work on this year that you guys will probably be interested in. We're looking at a reroute of a little piece of the whole enchilada, basically to get it off of the road between Warner and Hazard. That's been a long time thing, but I've got it on the list. I'm hoping we'll be able to do that and just kind of follow above the ditch line or something in there. So
Yeah.
that might be something we'll be approved by the summer and work on.
Evan, there's your summer project. Okay.
Yeah,
We got it.
so we'll see if we can push that through. That'd be super cool. And then Andrea contacted us from Sandflats, and they want to put a permanent toilet in Elk Gas instead of just the ones they've been renting for years. So that's another one I've got in the pipeline to start the NEPA on, hopefully get that authorization, and then PLN's gonna buy it and maintain it, she told me, so it's all great. So, well, I guess Sandflats, not PLN.
Will that be on the uphill side of the?
Basically, right where the rental ones are right there. Yeah. It's the only cattle guard everybody thinks, including myself, but that's the fourth boundary. That's actually not the fourth boundary. It's 800 feet further down because they didn't have GPS back in the day. So,
You guys didn't know how to use?
no, it does not. So it's a little off there. Like almost every one of them is, but that's the idea, is that we put a permanent.
There's like $250,000 of poop in a box, by the way. That's like the craziest thing I ever saw for Mud Springs. It's nuts.
That's all I got for now.
Okay.
What are the betting markets saying about Tewksbury Springs?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, every time you gotta talk about it.
Is this the year?
It's in the agreement. I put it specifically in there. I don't want to leave it to you guys, but it's on, we'll see.
Oh.
Yeah. If we have a trail crew, I don't know if we can be able to hire more folks. I mean, last year we had the whole month of October blocked out for it.
Right.
And then something happened. So it seems like every year the fire, the shutdown, I don't know. We're working on it.
Thank you, Brian. Scott.
So far this year, 100% of our rescues have been for our number one demographic, hikers. There was a lot of interest in the media at the end of the year on what we did, and I tried to convey that most of what we do is not for rope and parachute activities, but in fact, it's for hikers, mountain bikers, and UTVers. While Brian doesn't think there's a lot of snow activity, there's a couple people that are probably really lucky to be alive if you look in the news. In 2019, there was a fatal avalanche in Dark Canyon, and this was near the same spot. And it was at the crown was like, it looked like 8 feet deep. Pretty impressive wind load, and a snowmobile is destroyed, it looked like. And someone was buried up to their head. And just pretty lucky. They had all the right gear and that sort of thing. And so we're happy that it worked out. But it's a very thin snowpack across the like Colorado. And I think over the weekend I saw in Colorado, there was 5 avalanche people that survived avalanches in Colorado. So thin snowpack is a really dangerous snowpack. And hopefully we get more snow for lots of reasons. Was thinking about, as we're talking this whole thing on yielding, and it reminds me of the messaging that I always want to try to put forth to our biking community, is that when there's injured people on the trail, it's really nice for bikers to dismount and walk around and yield to search and rescue instead of just riding by and giving the wave or whatever. One more thing to add to the triangle.
Good one.
Other than that, it's been, let's see, I said this at the leadership meeting the other day, and then all hell broke loose, but it's been really quiet.
He wants to be busy.
Yeah, I think I said that, and then there was all the action out at Canyonlands that was in the news. And then a few other things too, but yeah, it's been pretty quiet. You know.
Okay, we'll take quiet.
Are we
There you
getting end of year stats?
They've been well documented in both local papers, but 143 call outs last year, and that was our second busiest call out year ever. And then I think having 5 calls in one day was a record last year in October as well. So
I will say is one last thing for STAR is Stewart Moab acquired Back from Beyond, the podcast. And we're excited.
That's so cool, by the way. That's one of my favorite podcasts, so I can't wait.
We're excited to work with STAR. We're excited to work with KZMU. Our goal is to produce the second season from the first one. And yeah.
we've got people emailing me all the time, like that want to tell their story. So it's,
So we're looking for sponsors. I think that's something that everyone in this room should know. So you have businesses, contacts, large, small. We're looking to make a second season happen. Will cost money, but there's been really good reception. Like listed 2025 most shared one of the most shared podcasts, right? Like some of the Spotify information that came through has been.
Yeah, it's got a great
really
stats.
cool.
That's good.
I just don't have them in front of me, but
Cool.
we can make this happen.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott. Excited about that podcast as well. All right, Jonathan. Report a poop. Is it happening? I haven't reported any yet.
It's running.
Okay, I haven't reported anything
I
yet.
think,
In the Play Store?
what's that?
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Is it in the Play Store?
No, it's not. Yeah, I think Mariah, was Mariah here last time, or you gave a little update? And she sent out did she send you the link? You want the link?
If I
I
missed,
still haven't got the link.
You want the link?
No, that's why I was hitting you up about it. But I want to share it with everybody. And I also want to put in the notes, report a poop, just so we're talking about it.
Okay.
it might have just gotten
Okay, yeah, so because
As
I'm.
soon as I get the link, I'll send it out to everybody.
So, no, we'll get that out. So yeah, it's up and running. I actually last month got out, and it's been a while since I went and kicked around the desert a little bit. People are still gross, so.
Change.
Yeah, right now I'm working on, I'm gonna build a public facing map that has all of that data on there. And yeah, we want to kind of get that up and running for the public as well. So we'll probably work with and Mariah to get some messaging out there and make sure people have access to that app so they can, go take some fun pictures.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So
I'm ready.
I thought I saw that email go through. I'm sorry.
No.
We'll make sure.
It's okay.
So
Anything else for help?
that's it. I just talked about poop. So
Yeah.
still I have something else to talk about.
Well, we're really glad that you're here. And that's an important part of outdoors is figuring out what to do with that. Do you all we still have the little wag bag locations, right? The three locations to bring to, okay.
4.
Oh, it's 4? 4. Okay.
Brendan, it's gonna be suspicious if you're reporting a lot of new.
You're like, were you just biking there? I saw a Strava thing. You're just biking there. Yes.
Why to clarify, this is not like a picture of your own.
Oh, it's so different. All right. Andrea is not here. I want to just read Matt's. Where are you? Matt sent me an update. Here it is. Can't make the meeting. Sand Flats Rec 2025 totals both revenue 789,715, up 1%, 1.25 over 2024. So that's good. New administrative fees moving forward with the county. Dinosaur track site barrier project coming along. Hell's Revenge trail starts this month. I don't know much about that, but I know where the zone is. So. How do you know about it?
Sounds fairly intelligent.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
The people driving up on Hell's Revenge have just removed more dirt over more rock
revealing more dinosaur tracks where we knew they should be, so just like bumping out the end of the floor fence so that people can see them and not drive on them.
That's great. And it's kind of off the edge. Oh, yeah.
Try to avoid mentioning that, yeah.
There's that edge too, so that's great. And you're working on, are you helping them with that? Or you just identified the?
Yeah, I did the survey and I gotta go out when they decide where to put posts.
Cool.
So they don't go,
Yeah, into tracks.
they're easy to see.
Well, thanks for your help with that, Emily. That's great. And then for this running report, Grand County events, 2025 totals 19 events with 8,934 finishers. 2026 has 20 running events scheduled. And then working with discovermoab.com on running content for the landing page. So that's great. And to what you said, Katie, first running event of the year, January 31st, Arches Ultra, Barham, Clonzo, Klondike with 667 registered. So that's quite a few folks registered.
Whatever, 666.
If there's one more over that, you did that specifically. So cheers, Matt. Okay, so we got that one there. Great. Chair report. Just thank you again. You're all here because you care. So thank you. This is a good group. I think I also said something that we all want to stay put and want to keep doing what we're doing. So thank you. Vice Chair Samantha is going to bring something really delicious for next meeting because you couldn't come today. Sometimes I like to volunteer for things, so you can send any recommendations. And then Kathy wrote a note to Kai and myself about the Hidden Valley. She went and hiked that during Christmas, and it just needs a little bit of maintenance. So that's what I came from. It needs some maintenance. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
When are they gonna, when is that gonna take place, the maintenance on that?
We don't have it listed all yet, but we talked about potentially doing that for our March volunteer event.
I'd like to try and get a bunch of SAR members to do.
Oh,
that
that'd be
too.
great.
It's honestly, it's a super challenging carry out.
Oh, man, I can imagine.
And especially when people get carried out there, it's generally
legal, right? Yeah.
August and they're too hot. And so.
Would it be easier to set up a zip line?
Could we bring bikes up the zip line? That's what I want to know.
That would be really awesome. I think that'd be a great collaboration if that was something with SAR, or at least that was how it was portrayed.
March.
Yeah.
Work Wednesday, we could do Hidden Valley and we can include SAR, and that'd be great.
In the shade, maybe a little cold, but I think that's probably fun.
Yeah, maybe communicate that first Monday of March.
The way things are going, it's gonna be like 80 degrees.
Yeah, it's true. Could be when it's done by then. All right, Kirsten, we've heard a little bit about skiing, but let's hear your report.
Brendan, I do have to run, unfortunately.
Okay, thanks, Kaya.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good month.
Hey, we'll see you.
Yes, the Nordic grooming is underway. We had a little hiccup at the beginning of the season with kind of both of our machines having some issues that didn't enable us to groom much right off the bat. But now everything's running and working. Matt groomed like everything on Friday and then did Gold Basin on Sunday. And then I'm planning to go up tomorrow. So, there's not a lot in the backcountry to do. So this is kind of one of the main games in town. So we're going to really try to keep it going.
Cool.
And got some new volunteers, but because of the machine access, we haven't had enough training yet to really let them loose. But hopefully
awesome.
We'll kind of catch up with that. So, anything else?
Everything, yeah.
Thank you.
The only snow in town right now is on the,
Yeah.
we're keeping on the road.
The avalanche or class is coming up. That's in January, right?
They rescheduled it. Yeah.
February 20th.
February when?
20th.
Okay.
20th.
Well, that's like the end of the season for us.
No. Just beginning.
That's
Could be the beginning.
Yeah, it could be. We'll see.
Things really get good.
Okay, thanks, Kirsten, and thanks for doing that. Thanks for volunteering up there, and thanks for keeping us with an active place in the way. That's great. Marty.
Yeah, so this is the time of year that we're working on our annual membership with the club, and one of our ongoing goals is always try to increase younger participation or families with kids. Keep that going. And actually last year's numbers, we had 23 individual memberships, 25 family memberships, and 3 patrons.
Awesome.
So it's kind of to give you an overview of the backcountry horseman participation. Yep, we'd love to be on the spring spruce up and work on the Onion Creek corrals. My husband and I, we were just out there and inspected them, and there's a number of rails that could use improvement. They're have binding twine around them, so it doesn't look so great. So we think we can do some great improvements there.
Awesome.
We'll have another meeting here in February, and at that point, we will probably organize some of our members to go out and work on the Bijou Trail, Mary Jane, the Sylvester. As far as signage, sounds like BLM has some more signs that we can put up. And I'm actually going to be out there tomorrow and ride that, so I'll inspect and see what we can do.
That's an original spring spruce up.
Oh, gee.
project.
What's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting in of that trail.
Those
Yeah.
corrals are pretty old. I know, because I've been going there before I even moved here and using those, so. What are they, 25 years old? You think? Also Stephen has been working on, getting our visibility as far as on, the BLM sites, and if, just doing search, engines for travelers who are coming through and looking, you know, for equestrian spots to camp. So that's well in the works, and he's connected with somebody on the BLM site to manage that. So it's great that he can do that.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty well. I think he's gaining strength.
Good. I had a great conversation with him, so.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's basically
Thank you. Thank you so much. Emily.
Oh, I don't have much because usually Maddie says what I need to say. I attended that planning committee meeting for the county, and at least the planning folks were into it. But now I got to figure out what I want to do now that I don't have a master plan to follow behind.
Convince the county that they want a master plan. That's your,
Okay.
yeah.
Other than that, PSA, there's snow, scoop your sidewalks. People are walking around town, and keep it accessible. Scoop your sidewalks, scoop your neighbor's sidewalk, or just let it know really fast. I got a north facing sidewalk if there's still snow in it.
Okay, shovel your walks, everybody. Thank you, Emily, for being here. Appreciate your feedback. At-large members, Dave.
I don't have much in regards to the mountain biking stuff, but I've been looking at the calendar here during this meeting, and the March 24th date that we possibly do the, the April 24th for the,
grand opening
day ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's the busiest week in Moab, pretty much, because it's car show weekend.
Mm.
And there on Friday, there is, Living Rivers at the Star Hall, so we won't have Star Hall. So just so you know that, so keep that in mind. There's a lot going on that weekend, and a lot of good. I mean, Desert Gravel Race coming from GJ to here, I think, or Fuda to here. And then there's the UTV rally and all kinds of stuff going on that weekend. So
Okay.
that'd be a really awesome weekend to have people here.
Lots
to
of people
see how
visiting.
busy it gets
Yeah.
here. So, yeah,
Cool.
other than that, haven't been on the trails much. I've been doing a little bit skiing.
Yeah, good. Awesome. Tim. So the,
Which Tim?
I'm sure, yeah,
Sorry.
there's several. Tim Rao. The climb trail is actually in pretty good shape. You don't need fat tires to ride a climb trail right now. It hadn't been sandy at all, but we've had some moisture lately and there's nothing in the next few weeks, so that'll be the big thing, yeah.
It was nice to ride while it was wet.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you. Mark?
On behalf of the bike park, we've been doing some work down there. There's been a lot of activity with the younger crew. There's been some elementary, middle, and high school students doing some building reshaping down there. They regraded some of the parking area. Patrick Trim and Mark Matson from the city sourced and provided some road base to regrade. There was kind of a ledge entering the park into the parking lot just from erosion, so I graded and compacted that. We're working with the Creek Stewardship Working Group, which is part of the grant that Rim to Rim Restoration and Cara Dornwind are managing and facilitating. So, and we're coordinating with the fire department to get some invasives cleared out and shipped and cleaned up down there to kind of reorient the footprint of the bike park. We have a meeting on the 11th of February, so hopefully maybe later in February into March, we'll be getting a lot of clearing done out there, and that'll help kind of create a project area that we've been invited to be involved in for the spring spruce up. And get some ideas for projects down there for April. So.
Awesome. Katie?
I forgot one thing that does actually affect bikes. We're, the BLM this year's finally started, the actual reconstruction of the Coca-Cola bike campgrounds. Those were first built in 1992, like Bitter Creek, Cowskin, Fishford, Hideout. Rock Castle's always kind of had some improvements because, you know, it's a lot more of you have. So those campgrounds this winter are getting a spruce up, and they've got new toilets, they're getting proper sites, they're gonna have new picnic tables. And I think we're going to have a observable site at a group site at Bitter Creek, because a lot of Coca-Cola through campers, that would be their first campsite, including the, you know, commercial companies. So it's not online yet, but I neglected to mention that. But of course it does. It's far out there, but it does affect anybody using the Coca-Cola Trail. So it'll be a lot nicer camping along the Coca-Cola Trail.
It kind of looked like maybe at Fish Ford, a little bit of a boat ramp improvement.
And the boat ramp at Fish Ford, there always was kind of a path down to the river, but it got cleared out. It got, you know, we put in sort of a proper parking area, and they've already done the dirt work at Bitter Creek and Fish Ford, but the furniture isn't there yet, like picnic tables. But Fish Ford, that was a mess, and now it's looking like a nice place. I was out there about 2 weeks ago, and they're doing a nice job up there. So the boat ramp, it's dirt, but the boat ramp at Fish Ford is going to be a lot more usable. And, you know, my favorite part of the Colorado River is actually Cisco Tree. And it's really a nice, gentle, family-friendly float. And you can make it a day float, especially if you start at Fish Ford. So I think that'll be good for Fish Ford.
It's fun. Cool. Awesome. Mark, did you get the tool thing there?
No, and that's, I've just acquired today some concrete insulated blankets, so I will go for the pad. I'd hope to get it installed, but we'll be able to do it in the coming weeks. Actually, I hope to put that concrete pad in place.
Cool.
The workstation and pump will be in place on the alternative transportation.
I've seen lots of like Nike kids posting about working on ramps there, and they asked me why they haven't seen me there. And I told them I'm not cool enough to go have any air, to be in any air, but
it's not required.
I haven't seen my kid for a couple of months.
That's where he's
Yeah.
been. So you should be thanking Mark, really. Colin, what do you got for us?
We just finished our strategic planning with the city. It feels like we're building up a lot of momentum. Almost when we were going through our priorities, almost felt like my chair when the mayor said that active transportation was one of her priorities, main priorities this year. So it seems like there's some good things happening in the city. The RAP tax applications open, January 23rd. I know there have been some recipients in this room. Isn't that what funded actually the tools up there? No. That was yours. Okay. Got it. Well, January 23rd and then closes. So any project that falls within the recreation arts and parks, there's $85,000 available from the city this year. Your application's in. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Colin, for being here. Tim, the other Tim.
Oh, other Tim. I don't really have anything right now.
Okay, glad that you're here.
Good to be here.
Everyone say thanks to Sam for filling in. And then high five the person next to you. We got it done. Thank you. Meeting adjourned at 1:02. Oh, come eat some cookies and drink the rest of those coffees, please. Recording. Stop.